City Skylines is a game that gives you a lot of different opportunities to play the game in different ways. So you can start with a sandbox where it's just a road that comes in and you have to build from scratch. You build all the roads, you build all the infrastructure, you do all the zoning, and you start with 0 citizens. Or you can do what I'm doing here, which is a scenario, basically a challenge. So this challenge is to win the game, you have to have a population over 260,000. You have to have 20,000 full lifespans lived in your city, which means you have to have 20,000 citizens born, live their entire lives, and die in the city. And you have to have more than $1 million money at the end of it. The only way that I can lose this game is if I have less than negative 30,000 money at any point during the game, even if it's towards the end when I have 260,000 population and I have 19,999 citizens that have lived their full lifespan. If during that I have negative 30,000 money, I just lose the game. So there are some stakes to this, and I'm thinking that I'm going to make this potentially a series on the channel. There are, I believe, 12 to 16 different scenarios. This is where we're going to start. So, as you can see, you start off here. You have kind of a weird infrastructure here with the roads. Very inefficient block sizes. Very, probably not going to end up keeping most of this. So, we have currently 1,775 population. We have 500,000 to start with in our bank account. And as you can see, there's only residential zoning that's been done here. There's no commercial, no industrial. And as you can see, that means that we have a lot of very high demand for industrial, office, and commercial zoning. This is also a very, it wouldn't be a problem at the moment, but once you get any kind of population going, this is going to be a nightmare for traffic. But I think what we'll do is ignore all that. And you know what? Actually, let's, from the jump, take care of this. I'm considering just getting rid of this entire thing. Now, I think that's probably a little bit more of a change than you were expecting. I ended up not being able to use a 6-lane road here like I wanted to. It just wouldn't work with my design. So I decided to go with two 2-lane roads here. As you can see, it works out well. It automatically has the right-hand lane go over to this lane of the interstate, and this one automatically goes over there. So it just worked out. Unfortunately, I don't have unlocked the actual highway 2-lane road, so now it's just an actual 2-lane one-way road like you would have on this street. The downside of that is it has a speed limit of 40. And once you get to the actual highway ones, 2-lane highway has a speed limit of 100. So that means we have significantly slower traffic coming into and out of the city, but it's going to work for now. We have a population of 2,178 at the moment. And yes, I did go to a population of 0 and just basically rebuilt this whole thing. It just wasn't going to work with the layout I had in mind to utilize this whole tile. And no, I'm not going to just use one tile. I am going to eventually buy more tiles because I don't have the skill really to fit 260,000 population in one tile and make it functional at all. Right now we have pretty good traffic, we have pretty good water, sewer. The thing that we're having a little bit of trouble with right now is trash, because we haven't unlocked the incineration plant yet, but we're just pretty much using the recycling centers, which I do like. There was, of course, as you remember, a dump right here. I selected the option to go ahead and empty that into the recycling centers because I just really don't like having landfills in the city. I can't really explain 100% why, it just doesn't work for me. So right now we have our population mostly just in elementary school. As you can see, we have 81% uneducated, 19% educated, 1% well educated, 0% highly educated. So this is going to be uneducated, elementary graduated, high school graduated, college graduated. I do have a high school, but as you can see at the moment, uh, uh, oh, I guess I have to actually go click on it individually. We have 382 students enrolled out of 1,000, so we don't need to build another high school at the moment. We're plenty good with just one. Our main demand is, well, it's pretty well spread out at the moment. Until I get better roads, I don't really want to build just straight out from that because it's going to cause a problem at this intersection until I get that mod that allows you to designate which lane goes to which lane. At the moment, the only things that you can do is you can select junctions, you can turn on and off the stoplight at an intersection, and you can designate which approach has a stop sign, which is pretty handy. You know, I did use that on all these. Right now I have them set up where there's no stoplights on the main road, but everyone coming onto my 4-lane road here has a stop sign. And the same on these roads. And it seems to be working pretty well right now for our traffic. Now we have Barlow Farms over here. It is just a regular plain old district that I set to farming industry. That way I can have industry next to residential without causing any issues with pollution that would make our residents unhappy. As you can see, our main holdup to getting our citizens to upgrade their houses at the moment is education, and education just takes time. So right now we're looking pretty good as far as our progress. Our next milestone is going to be Boomtown, and we have about 295, well, exactly 294 citizens left to go in order to unlock some important stuff. One of those important things is, if I can find it, the disaster response unit. I'll tell you what, guys, it's been pretty rough in the time that you've been away from me. I've had 2 big tornadoes come through and just wipe out part of my city, and I had to go in and rebuild stuff. And before you get the disaster response unit unlocked, you can't just rebuild things because they have to be searched for survivors before you can rebuild them. So you just have to go in and delete them and wait for things to come back in your zoning area. And like these wind turbines got knocked out by a tornado, and I had to just completely demolish the oh gosh, what was it called? I don't remember what they call it, but basically the remains after the tornado, and then just pay full price to replace it. Where it had an option that was rebuild, but I wasn't able to click it because I didn't have a disaster response unit yet. So I think I don't have any unbuilt residential zoning. So I tell you what we do here. Let's continue along the riverside here. I think that's pretty much straight, so let's try and go to the straight shot here. Not quite. Okay, there we go. And of course, you know, you don't have to do this. I just enjoy having, I think it makes it simpler to just have your water and sewer pipe go under the road. Obviously you don't have to do that. It's not necessary. And so let's put some more residential zoning here next to the water. And the reason that I'm doing that instead of just building the road right up against the edge of the water is, let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Waterfront property actually does give you a benefit in City Skylines, which is pretty cool. It increases the value, as you can see right here. Even before you build anything, the banks of a river do increase value to whatever this middle number is. And once you actually build residential, any residences on that land next to the water, it actually goes up significantly. Which, when you have increased property values, you have increased tax revenue, and you have happier citizens that will upgrade faster. So it's just better all around. Now, I can't get my residential zoning too close to my hub of poop and trash here, because obviously it would make the citizens unhappy to have all of that pollution next to them. So, what is the best thing to do here? We have the option of building in this area with residential, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just about how I want to lay it out. So I think what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and just go straight here. No, I can't do that because I've been doing a good job, in my opinion. Okay, so let's just do that. And then we'll build... Oh. Is that curving or something? Oh, it is. It's curving. Okay. So what I'm going to do then, I think, is I'm going to go like that. And then, there we go. Okay. And this now has a nice little, let's see. So I should wait to put in the water and sewer until I get through. I think I'm going to try and make I'm not very good at this, but let's try and make this like an actual neighborhood where it's not just straight roads. Without wasting too much of our potential zoning. That's not too bad. That doesn't look too bad, guys, does it? I think it looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and, of course, put in all of the utilities that I need. And I do need to pay attention to where we are on electricity. So we're getting a little bit low on electricity. We're getting pretty low on water and septic. So I think what I'll do, so a water tower is 60,000 cubic meters a week. So that's double. 3,500, 2,500. I think I'll put in another pumping station right next to this one. And of course you can just connect them together. It's already next to electricity, so I don't even need to worry about it. Then I like to use these eco inland water treatment plants because then you're not pumping poop water into the river. So let's build 2 of those, connect them up, and that should be the same. Oh, I guess not quite, but oh yeah, okay, it just took a second for it to get up there. Trash, ooh, so just every once in a while I need to come in here and build another one of those. Let's check on health. I really should build another health clinic, so let's build one right there. That is actually, hold on a second, that's going to cause a problem for when I come in and change these into the proper roads. That won't leave enough room. So we might have to actually get rid of a house here. Yeah, I think it's the best to just do that. Now let's check on fire. I was just checking to see if I had enough to get the disaster response unit. We're getting close. Okay, so yeah, we need to put a fire station up there. These do cost a fairly significant amount to upkeep, but you know, it's necessary. If you don't have all of the proper services, then people aren't going to move into your city. So, ooh, I need to pay attention to my bank account, because if we get to negative 30,000, then we have problems. So I'm just going to fill this whole area in here with residential. That's going to be borderline on whether it's going to be happy with me. Let's see if it shows you exactly. Oh, all right, we hit Boomtown. So we have the ability to unlock a new piece of land, to purchase a new piece of land. We're able to build airports. We have transport, level 3 unique buildings, ferries, walking tours, buses, postal service, which is important, tours, taxi, and tram. I did a whole video on taxis, and they're pretty much garbage. I just say don't use them. We have the ability to do the ore industry specialization in the actual no, I think that's just like what I did with the farming. That's not actually the ore, like where you have the individual buildings and everything and you build a company basically. I don't think that's unlocked yet. So we have these policies. I kind of don't really use policies that much. And we have all these intersections unlocked. Now let's see. Have we unlocked highway? We have. Good, good, good. And highway ramp. That's also good. Okay, so we unlocked a bunch of roads. We unlocked heating pipes. And the most important thing at the moment, we have unlocked the disaster response unit. That is good. And so there's post office. Yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff. Next one will be Busy Town at 5,500. But that's going to be a little ways off. I believe it's under fire. Okay, so yes, there's the disaster response unit. Whoa. It is a lot bigger than I had envisioned. So, where should I put this? I guess... You know what? Let's extend this road, the 6-lane road, a little bit. Like that. And hopefully that left enough room. It did, okay. So I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to say that's basically like a service road. Now, let's get back to our disaster response unit. And we'll put it right there. Make sure it has water, electric, and everything. Yes, it does. Okay. So now the next time we have a storm, it's going to be able to help me out so I don't have to rebuild everything manually. Okay. We need to put in some commercial buildings here. It is a good idea to kind of spread them out. First of all, you know, it's good to have them close to your population, the residences, because obviously, you know, if it's within walking distance, then they don't have to use a car. It doesn't cause more traffic, and everything just keeps moving smoother. And it also makes it easier to, you know, have the delivery routes of them delivering products to your commercial buildings not cause terrible traffic jams, which absolutely can happen. So let's put what I just said into practice here and put some commercial out here. It's sort of a real lack of commercial out here, so we'll just plop a few out. There don't have to be a ton, but it is a good idea to have some. You don't want to get your industrial too jam-packed together and too big, because what will happen is it will really, really, really mess up your traffic. Because right now, anything that is needed to build something here or to build something built here has to either come in, go down, go out here, or it has to come here, go up there, and go out. So what I want to do is eventually, not yet, but eventually I want to buy this tile, and I'll take highway, take my 1-lane road here, and connect it to this road. Oh wow, I can just do it right there. Awesome. So my hope is eventually the industrial goods will be able to just go right out to the highway instead of having to go back through my city. And so there's potential that this can cause a problem with the routing of traffic for the rest of the city, but for the moment I'm going to leave it and see what happens. Okay, now do we have industrial? Okay, so we do have the industries. And we have the ore industry unlocked. Okay, so do we have ore? Yeah, that's pretty important. Oh, bummer. Okay, so we don't have any ore that is available. The closest ore is over here. That's not going to be useful. So we'll have to wait until we unlock. Oh, we already have them unlocked. Never mind. Okay. So we have forestry and farming. The closest good ground is down here. That's not useful to us, but we do have forest up here. So what I'm going to do is actually let's go in and replace this with actual highway. So I'm going to put in a 2-lane highway. There we go. That'll increase our speeds very well. And these are going to go down to 1 lanes. And we'll continue. There we go. So that really speeds things up. I'm trying to decide if I want to make a whole nother exit off of my highway over here, or if I just... Do I just take this 6-lane, or this 4-lane rather, across? I think for the moment that's what I'm going to do, is just take that across like that. And I'm going to check once again. Okay, so this area is a good area for forestry. So I'm going to go in here, click on districts and areas. I'm going to go to paint industry area. And I'm going to make this whole side of this road an industry area. Now the way that this works is you now just have a random unassigned industry area. The way that you turn it specifically into forestry is I'm going to take a 2-lane road, come off of my 4-lane road, and I'm going to plop down my farm. Oh wait, Am I doing... No, we're doing forestry. Forestry main building. Boom. Now we have a forestry area. How do you get rid of this thing? Honestly, that's kind of annoying. I don't remember how you get rid of this. So I guess I'll just put it there for the moment. And so the first thing that we can build is a sawmill, a small log yard. I believe that's just storage, right? Storage. This turns wood into planed timber. So the first thing we need to build here is a small tree plantation. But first, obviously, we need to bring all of our utilities. So because this is so far away, I am actually going to use power lines here. There we go. Okay, so we now have electricity and water and sewer. So I hope that yes, okay, dirt road. I'm going to use dirt road in the forestry area here. So off of my 2-lane road, I'm going to go back this direction. And we'll build 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4 just doesn't fit. That's a bummer. 1. Oh, I don't have enough money. Okay. Industry area info. So, Lafayette Forest Products. I'll just leave the name that. We have raw forest products that these produce 2,304 units per week. Oh, they're different. That's interesting. I wonder if it has something to do with how much of the forest they're in. That could possibly be a thought. I might need to move these. Oh, wait, it costs money to move them, doesn't it? Yeah, but only 800. So I think I'm going to go ahead and, yes, move that. And that went from 2,000 to 4,000. So it was definitely worth it. So I'm going to move this one as well. Oh, wow, that one definitely was not worth it. I didn't do a very good job of looking into that. Alright. So this, once we get it built up a little bit, should satisfy a fair bit of the demand for industry. But we don't have enough money to really mess with it. So what we need to do is I don't really want to take a loan. So the main thing that we need is industry. So I'm going to just bite the bullet and I'm going to whack this whole thing full of random industrial zoning. And I know I said that that's not the best thing to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. And then we need to put in some commercial. You know, I was planning on having this whole thing, this whole scenario, be one video, but this is going to take hours and hours and hours, and I don't think that it's going to work for me to do this in just one video, so I'm probably going to need to break it up multiple times. I don't know exactly how many I'm going to do that, you know, but let's see if I can. I think that I can go to the budget here. And no, I don't think that'll be worth it. I was going to say just increase the budget for electric because as you can see, we are having some issues with low electric. But anyway, as I was saying, I think that probably once we hit our next milestone here to get to 5,500, I think I'm going to have to call it quits for this video. And we'll just have to have multiple videos per scenario. And then I'll put all of them into the same playlist. Yeah. Yeah. But I guess, so there's going to be probably like a part 1, 2, and 3 of this scenario. Maybe a part 1, 2, and 3 for each scenario. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so we are making some money now. I really need to build a cemetery. Oh, that's in it. Look, they call the cemetery has a patient capacity. That's kind of funny. All right. Now, I don't know if you keep up with City Skylines at all, but of course there's City Skylines 2 now. City Skylines 1, City Skylines 2. I did make like 2 videos with City Skylines 2, and it just, you know, I couldn't get into playing it. I can't really explain what the difference was, why I didn't like it as much as City Skylines 1. I really can't explain what the difference is really, but I couldn't get into it. You know, maybe it's just because I had so much time playing this game and it seemed so different from this game. City Skylines 2 did. And you know, there were a lot of improvements in the game. You know, the graphics were better. Some things were more intuitive. I never really could figure out the building system as well as I feel like I understand the building system in City Skylines 1, you know, this game. I don't know if if you've played both of them and you feel the same way, you know, let me know what you think it was. But I really don't think I can explain it necessarily. Okay, so that looks like that did help us to increase the budget. I just need to remember not to leave the budget high once I'm able to build the incinerator. Where are we at with the incinerator? What is ooh, 8th. So it's not even going to be in this video that I'm able to use the incinerators, but that's okay. Oh wow, we're already getting backed up on trash. But the next thing I really need to build a cemetery, and it costs 8,000 to build it. Really? You know what? In order to keep this working at all, I'm gonna have to end up taking a loan. Let's do the cheapest one, or see, the interest is 5%, 52-week payment, weekly cost of 403. Currently, that'll take us down to 1,200, so I can do that. All right, let's go ahead and first of all, let's pause so we don't lose any of that money that we don't need to. So there we go. We have the cemetery, which that was a good place to put it in my opinion, because it'll kind of buffer the rest of the area from the pollution, the air pollution. So yeah, I don't know if you can see here really, but we have a lot of dead people, which, you know, I wasn't paying attention because it's very normal to need to build a cemetery, and I just forgot to do it. Let's see. Junctions. I'm going to turn off the need to stop there. And maybe that will... Yeah, it did. Okay. So yeah, look at this. Okay, so we have... Excellent. So this worked exactly how I was hoping it was going to work. We have a lot of our traffic that is coming from our industrial zones. boom, instead of driving back through the city out here, coming down over here to this intersection, they just go right out on the road there. Now, because I don't want to and don't really have room to have an alley or whatever, a ramp that goes around and comes this direction, I assume that what happens is any truck that's a route takes it out of the city in this direction is still going to come up here and it'll go out that way. But at least it's going to help with our traffic. Let's actually check on the traffic. Where are we at? 93%. Not bad. Not bad at all. So we have 8 hearses out going to pick up people. And let's check on our money situation. Income. Industry areas. Okay, here we go. So right now we're making a small amount of profit, but that's to be expected because we are just shipping out raw products. We don't have any kind of upscaling. So here we go. We have now a sawmill. I'm going to go ahead and build... Oh, I was going to build 2, but I guess that's a lot more expensive than I was expecting. So the idea is the forest produces raw... What do they call it? I don't even see where it says... Anyway, raw forest products turns into planed lumber, which increases the value. And as you can see, we are employing 100 workers in our forest product area, which is great. It will decrease the demand for industry. Okay, so I feel like I am not using the entirety of this like I should. So let's go back to the 2-lane road here. 2-lane with sidewalk. And I'm gonna go like that. And like that. And yeah, I'll actually let that be connected right there. And then obviously bring up our water and sewer. And you know what? This one right here is going to be commercial, 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 and commercial, and commercial, commercial. I do try to pick out where at least a 3x3 is going to work out, because if you get smaller ones in commercial, it does potentially cause you problems with being able to have that be a long-term business, because you can have problems with it being able to select workers that are right for that job. Like this one, I guess it doesn't show the information yet. Now we need to check in on our schools. High school, still not full. Our elementary schools might be... Oh no, we're good. We're good. We have one here at 208, and we have one here, 202. So we are not at capacity there. And I did build a library. We've had 24 visitors. That's not bad. Okay. Now let's just take a break here for a second and look at our goals. We have currently 0 out of 20,000 full lifespans. We have 3,600 out of 260,000 on our population. We have 4,000 out of 100,000 or 1 million on our money, but we have not gone below negative 30,000 money, which is good. because that would mean that we would be just done. So I am going to speed up for a minute. I'm paying attention. We are still in the positive on our weekly income. And let's see. So we are losing money currently. So, but I think once we ship out the plain timber that's here, we should make money eventually. I hope. I hope we eventually make money there. Alright, well the time has come again where I'm going to have to just bite the bullet and add in more random industrial. I don't really want to do that, but it looks like I need to do that, unfortunately. Okay, so we are low on electricity again, so I'm going to go ahead and grab another windmill. 10 megawatts. That's pretty good. That's not too bad. Alright, so we are just barely keeping up with demand, though. And we're still good on electric and sewer. Let's go back to trash. We are behind on trash. So that's not great. Oh, the plane going by kind of freaked me out a little bit for a second. Okay. I think in order to get to our checkpoint that we need here, it looks like I'm going to have to expand somewhere just to make it happen. So, I believe what I'm going to do is start a new grid. Please forgive me. Yes, it is going to be a grid, at least for now. Well, at least, you know, it's not exactly the same as all the rest of them. Alright, let's get our water and sewer under there. I am concerned a little bit here because it's been a while since we've had any storms. So that is, of course, concerning. Because a tornado is just bound to happen. So, this one I'm going to do a lot more simply. I'm going to go boom, boom, boom. 4x4s in the corners. Like this. I'm gonna just... the reason that I don't like to do that is it can cause problems later on when you do that with commercial. So, wham. Just like that. We have added a ton. Okay. Now we're about to have basically just demand for industrial. At last, our forest is making money. Alright. I guess what I could do here is build up one more like this. And let's put in another plain old district. You know, I'm going to do this whole thing as a district. And we're going to go for forest industry. For commercial specialization, we're going to go, organic and local produce, residential, self-sufficient buildings, which is of course going to make them rebuild, but that's okay. I'm going to now go in and this whole middle one is going to be nothing but forestry. And then, you know what? This whole thing is going to be forestry. I was going to add in some other stuff, but that whole deal right there is just going to be forest. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, so Prospect Square is self-sufficient residential, organic and local produce for my commercial, and forestry specialization for industry, which allows it to be built next to residential without increasing any pollution, so everybody stays nice and happy. Let's look at policies. Is there anything interesting here? Cost. Let's not do anything that costs anything. Yeah. Okay, and since I've built this new area up here, I do need to... Yeah, unfortunately, I am going to probably have to build services up here. Yeah, I should put up a police station. Whew. Okay, that took a lot of money. That was a lot of money. Alright, let's check our... Okay, so Lafayette Forest Products has reached level 2. We can now build biomass pellet plant, furniture factory, sawdust storage, forest workers barracks, and a sapling field. That's great. But what was I saying? Oh, junctions. Okay, let's go in. Let's get rid of these stoplights. And I'm going to leave them even without stop signs for the moment. And I don't think now is the time to put in any more buildings here. Because, well, for one thing, I don't have the money to do it. Fortunately, this doesn't have a time requirement, because I think I'd be in trouble if this had a time requirement. I'm just now kind of getting back into City Skylines. It's been a while since I played it, really. Let's put in more commercial here. Go 4x4. Ah, here we go. This will show my point. Not enough workers. They all have to be uneducated. Now, as you can see, there's still demand for industry, but I don't have enough uneducated workers. Or no, maybe I don't have enough educated workers. I still have, you know, some issues understanding exactly how everything works here. Okay, I think now would be a good time to... I'm going to go to right there and then curve. Boom, like that. And this whole area here is going to be residential. There we go. And you know what? For the moment, I'm not going to count on building any more around there. So let's get this whole thing, a whole deal in residential. We're just zooming along here now. Oh, bummer. Okay, it looks like we are having issues with power once again. These are not going to be permanent, these windmills, because they take up too much good real estate. Right now, the only good area to put in these windmills is on the coastline, and that just isn't going to do, because that's like some of the most valuable real estate. I can't leave them there. So eventually, once I have a better way to get power without having a bunch of pollution, I know that's funny funny for me to say with how much pollution I have in the middle right here. But let's see, we're still good for a little while. Ooh, whoa. Whoa. We're really low on power. What was that about? That was crazy. Oh my goodness, look at this. All these people moved out. Wow, I really haven't been paying good attention. Why is there a crazy flood coming through here? What's that all about? That's concerning. Man, these banks are really not very high, are they? I probably should have rethought that a little bit. Okay, Lafayette Forest Products. In order for it to upgrade, needs more workers and more resources produced. I do have some money now, so I think it is a good time to build industry, forest. Let's build a little bit of storage. And then also we're going to build a biomass pellet plant. So that allows us to do paper and plain timber now. And it increases our potential workers to 236. That is not good enough. So, oh, I don't have enough money. I was going to build, I think we'll have enough money pretty soon though. Forest workers barrack. Unfortunately, it doesn't increase the amount of money that you make, but it increases workplaces by 35. You know what? That may not be worth it at the moment. I think I should skip that probably. We have a lot of houses that are level 3. I think I may have to have a college to do all the way to level 5. I don't know that for a fact, though. And as you can see, we're starting to get issues with traffic already. So I think by the next video in this, part 2 of this, I probably am going to need to get some kind of traffic mod that allows me to do better things with the traffic here. Is it people walking across? I think it might be people using the crosswalk that's really causing the problem here. No, it's just that there's a lot of traffic. Yep. Okay, so how can I help myself with that? I don't want them driving through neighborhoods, but I think the thing that I need to do might be come over here with sidewalk, go up, go across, and then go back down like that. That hopefully will make it so people can walk across on sidewalks, and they'll maybe use that more than they use this. It looks like it is helping some because there are people using it, which means they're not using this intersection. Oh, and I can... Duh, I don't know why I didn't do this before. I can just connect that like that. That should help some. You don't want to just have one point of connection when you have large populations or large jobs away from your population. You don't want to do that either. So, ooh, man. We need 500 more basically before we get to our next milestone. And we have plenty of demand. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to expand again. I don't want to expand and cut off my forestry area. And I don't want to buy another tile yet. And I don't have the ability to build high density yet. So, what is my play here? I know it's not a ton, but I can build residential right there. Just kind of, you know, add in a little bit here and there. I can probably get away with doing this. I don't think I should build residential right here because there's a lot of noise pollution from the road and they'll be pretty unhappy with me. And I don't want my citizens to be unhappy with me because they might not pay their taxes. And that would be a bummer. Alright, so electric. Ooh, we're getting real close on our water and septic again. So we're going to have to build another water intake. And we're going to need to build another poop outlet. That did take out some of our industrial buildings, but it'll have to do. We now have good electricity, good water sewer. We're still having issues, of course, with our garbage processing, but it's not stacking up anywhere, so that's good. We're not stacking trash anywhere. Our forestry product area is doing pretty well. We have, you know what, we're not going to be able to upgrade anytime soon, but we are making a little bit of money, so that's good. I guess actually one thing I could do is move this wind turbine up here, and I can go across the river with my 6-lane road. Let's see about what the best way to do this is to have it be the right height. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks pretty good. It isn't very high above the water, though. So it really has potential to flood right there. But there's not a ton that I'm going to be able to do about that at the moment. Let's build all the way up to our border. And on this one, I think I might try putting in a roundabout. How do you... I forget how you do roundabouts. Well, I don't want a roundabout that's that big. So... let's see. Let's go with our dirt road. I'm going to come out here and go 1, like that. Yeah. And then I'm going to find a 2-lane one-way. Do I do a 2-lane one-way? I'm trying to remember if it's bad to use the highway for this. I'm going to try it. No, it needs to be 3-lane because this is... Okay, so now let's connect up our 6-lane. That. Come to the border with that. I'm going to take my 4-lane and go off in this direction. Take my other 4-lane and go off in this direction. Now, delete the dirt roads, and then come in and get rid of stoplights. Oh. Junctions. Oh wow, it already has the stoplights turned off. That's pretty cool. Okay. Potential to turn. I think that's set up right. I'm not absolutely confident though. I guess we'll see. You know, we'll find out. All right. Now, I believe I can do terraforming. Soften terrain. Level terrain. Okay, let's start with trying to level it. I'm going to go there. And then you right click and then drag. Yes, okay. Okay, that was the wrong selection. Okay, I think that one was right. Oh, sorry, my dog's barking. Being crazy. Okay, back to that. And I'm going to level all of this. Like that. And then to make it not look too crazy, I'll come in with the soften thing. And soften it like that. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a lot more useful. Okay, so now I'm going to go out like that. And I'm sorry once again, but it's going to be a grid. I'm going to go all the way out to here. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and extend my 4-lane road right to the end there. And bam. Now, of course, we need to put in our utilities. All right. Okay, let's try it. So, once again, I'm going to do every once in a while, I'm going to do my 4 corners. Or really more than every once in a while. I'm going to do it pretty much every time. Just like that. And you know what? With this one, let's put one right there. Let's put one right on the riverfront. You know what? Let's don't. Maybe right here, actually. Just like that. And the rest of this is going to be wham! Full of residential. And I think I am going to need to use that. There we go. It's going to be kind of bare bones, but you know, it's coming together. We're starting to look pretty good here. We've got we're not enough workers. That is potentially going to be a problem. We don't have enough workers close to our industrial. That is not ideal, but it looks like it's not going to end up being a terrible issue. So, it is going to be necessary to put in some commercial over here. All right, there we go. We're at Busy Town. We have a population of 5,500. It unlocks all kinds of stuff for us. All kinds of stuff. But this is going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to my channel. And I will see you next time. We're going to have episode 2 of this series coming soon.